Lisa Briggs from the Briggs Company is here, taking your plant and garden questions. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Nice plants today.
Stuff that I like for shade. So coleus, this is perilla, not a coleus.
These are annuals.
These are annuals, yes. These are impatiens, including this really great. I know, this is cool. And then begonias, of course. So
all annuals.
All annuals, but all good in shady spots.
All right, let's go to the phones. We'll start with Terry in Dodgeville. Hi, Terry. What's your question?
My daughter's lilacs have always been purple, and this year they're white. And she would like to know why.
Okay, so we have had a rash of calls at the garden center in the last couple of weeks about crab apples. Dark pink being pale pink, pink being white, and we are pretty sure it was the heat that hit right when they were flowering. With the lilacs, I honestly don't know, because the lilacs look really glorious. The temperatures have been good, nice and cool, so the flowers look really great. I am going to do some research and see what I can find out, and I'll report back, not next week because it's Memorial Day, but the week after.
All right.
See what I can find out.
My crab apple, same thing.
I know.
I showed you pictures.
You did.
Here's Nancy in East Bristol. Hi, Nancy. What's your question?
I have an asparagus bed, and I don't know if it's the birds or some animal that has carried seeds afar, but I have asparagus coming up all over my yard.
Oh,
Is
yikes.
it worthwhile to transplant that back to where I'd like it to be? And do you have any tips?
You could do that. If they're just coming up and they're small, you could try digging them up. It's probably going to be a few years before they're going to bear. So I guess that's up to you if you think that's worthwhile, if you want to move that over. That would be fine.
Now's the time to do that?
Now's the time to do it. They do have a seed. They get a little orange fruit, and if it sort of fell over, the seeds could have been carried around by some critters. And
interesting.
yeah.
All right, let's go to Myra. What is it? Myrna. Myrna from Addis. Hi, Myrna. What's your question?
Hi, I have a question about daylilies. Is there any way to stop them from overtaking everything? Is there some kind of barrier you can put on, pound into the ground that will stop those things from just growing up everywhere?
You're probably talking about what we like to affectionately or unaffectionately call ditch lilies. Daylilies themselves, the clumps will get bigger, but they don't tend to stray and send runners. However, those bright orange kind of things that we call daylilies that grow along the side of the road, those are really difficult to control, and they're invasive. So you could pound some kind of barrier in the ground. You're going to want to go about 8 inches deep, or just keep cutting them back. You could also get a herbicide and paint it directly on the leaves with like a foam brush, and that might
get rid of them.
That might sort of knock them back a little bit.
All right, let's go to Audrey in DeForest. Hi, Audrey. What's your question?
Hi. I've got a hydrangea, Nico Blue, that I've had for many, many, many years. Moved it 3 times, and it's only blossomed once in probably 15 years. And it's got new growth on the bottom, but nothing on top. And is this too soon, or should I be fertilizing? And I'm not good about fertilizing.
The Nico Blue hydrangeas are an old school hydrangea that only will bloom on the stems. Buds are set the year before, and so they are difficult to get to reflower. You really want to put some mulch on them to protect those buds. If you want flowers, it's better to kind of look at the newer varieties like the Endless Summer series. Those flower on that new growth that comes from the bottom, as well as on any buds that come back from the winter.
So those you prune in the spring?
You prune them all in the spring as far as I'm concerned, but it's difficult because those Nico Blues often get knocked back to the ground, and then you don't get any flowers.
All right, well, the cooler weather is helping the plants. That 90s...
Finally, yes.
Fading the flowers?
I know. The lilacs look amazing this year.
And we need some rain, though.
We do need some rain.
All right. If you're on the line, stay there, Lisa. We'll talk to you off the air, right?
Yeah, I will.
Okay. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, yes.
Right.